All right, that was a really good shot
That's
to start
pretty
our
good.
warm-up. First thing I noticed, horizontal impact, 2 millimeters towards the toe, vertical strike, 5 millimeters low on the face. That was a really, really good shot. Talk to me about that draw. Is that a shot that you typically want to see right there? Is that what you're playing for? Okay. Makes sense. You've got a path that's 4.2 degrees in to out. So a perfect face matchup to that would be about 2.5 degrees, and you get a push draw that doesn't overdraw. So that was really good. Let's do a couple more. That was a really good shot. So we've got Martin in here today, and basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out where good golf lives for him. And one of the things that we discussed earlier is he wants to get out and play a lot more than he does. But with a family, job, all these things that get in the way, golf takes a lot of time. He's not getting out as much as he'd like. And that is the same for a lot of us. And that's where we got to keep our expectations a little bit organized and realize, you know, you might not be playing as good as you think you can when you don't have the time and effort to put into it. But before we look at golf lessons, which I don't think would be very appealing to him because he doesn't practice. He barely plays, so he doesn't practice. But we can sit here and evaluate his golf club to see if we can match something up so that if he gets off the couch in 3 months and decides to play, that he's got a tool that is a little bit better and a little bit more accurate than what he has. So let's give him a few more shots to warm up. Let's go over his club and see what is the diagnostic of it, and then we can see how this 8-variable process plays in to either changing his specs or confirming some of his specs. What'd that one feel like?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good? You liked how that one felt?
I did.
Perfect. We are going to talk about that shot because it's a great time to open it up. What did he do? He hit the ball again 2 millimeters towards the toe, but he hit that last one 4 millimeters high on the face, and that's a little bit of an issue. See that photo right there? That's the Tiger Strike. And that last shot that you hit, the bottom of the ball was probably 2.5 grooves high on that face. They feel good. The problem is they don't always do the same thing every time, and the reason is when we catch the ball high on the face, the club face gets interfered with by the earth before the ball's completely off of it. So it's almost like someone's bumping the barrel of your gun ever so slightly while you're pulling the trigger, and you're like, well, why am I not hitting my target every time? Well, that's exactly why. If we can catch the ball lower on the face, we can actually compress the golf ball. The golf ball can be off of the face before the earth has a chance to mess with it, and then the physics will play out correctly. So what is alarming is that last shot worked out really good. But if you kept hitting it high on the face like that, I don't think you'd get the same result. So let's continue to warm up, hit a few more shots. Let's see if that's what you tend to do. But what we're going to be after today, and the way that we define forgiveness, is a club that gives you the highest percentage of Tiger Strikes while balancing that face-to-path relationship so that you can hit that push draw that doesn't overdraw, but always draws. That's what we're going to be after today. What is the stock yardage for your 7-iron? What do you play your 7-iron at?
Maybe 160, 165.
Perfect. That's going to be pretty average, maybe a little bit above average. Okay, let's go ahead and hit 2 more shots. Beautiful. Lower on the face is better than higher on the face in general. Obviously, you know, there's a happy medium to that, but in general, that's what we're looking for. Thin to win is a real thing. Last one, buddy. So here's the one thing I got to ask of you. What we've done here at Foreward Golf is we've controlled the 8 variables that go into a golf club. We're going to discuss what those are in a second. We've done such a good job of isolating the variables of the club, the only variable that's left is you. So,
correct.
When you hit a shot that hooks way to the left or stays way out to the right, I hope that you don't try to correct that on the next swing, because that's not inherently what we're here for. If I give you any of these clubs and I give you enough tries, you'll end up hitting it good. But you have to deform your swing a little bit to make that happen, and that's not what we're after. We want you to do your swing and see, is there a club that rights the ship more often? So if you hit a bad shot, try not to change anything, and that may be the hardest thing in today's fitting. So a lot of the times we'll turn this screen off so people can't even see it because of that exact thing. So I'll be there to remind you if you do hit a bad one, hey, don't worry about it, just do the same thing again. Let's hit one more shot. Right after this, we're going to pull up the data and talk about his swing. Beautiful. Okay, a little high on the face, but that's going to hit the center of the green. You would live to fight another day with that. All right. The main concern with people who come in here, and I don't know if you're one of them, but they're always in fear that they're not consistent enough to do this process. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if you're going to get good data. Well, we like to prove it to the person rather than just tell them that. So Devin, if you could, please pull up that data screen. And we're going to look at the club data and how you delivered that club. So there's two things that we want to look at. One is angle of attack. The average angle of attack was 1.5 degrees down on the ball, so your airplane's coming in very level to the ground, slightly down. But the standard deviation is 0.4, the same every single time. So your airplane is going to come down at that same 1.2 angle every single time. That's consistent. When we look at your path was 3.6 degrees in to out, and that was in a 0.8 standard deviation. So not only is the airplane coming in the same way, it's also coming in at the same angle every single time. Why is the ball not going in the same spot every time? And that has to do with our face's relationship to the path. Our face to target and how it relates to the path is what gives us this. So if your club face comes in open to the path, the ball's going to stay out to the right. If it gets too close to the path, it's going to overhook to the left. But we also got to make sure that that's not happening, that we're not losing face control because we're not getting the tiger strike. So can we look at the average on his strike locations, please? Oh, I've already got it. Average strike location is not 6 millimeters low on the face, but it wasn't that consistent. And then if anything, you were slightly towards the heel, and it wasn't super consistent. So I do think we're going to be able to get some good data today. I think we could get a draw that draws every time while getting the tiger strike and getting our groupings to be very, very tight. But it's hard to argue that you're not consistent.
Right.
The only thing that's not consistent is the face, and I wonder, if we get a better sole design on the club, would you have better face control? If I take you through a line angle test, is there something that marries that face up to the path to give us what we want? What about total weight? What about flex? What about kick point? What about swing weight? What about length? What about grip size? These are the questions that people are asking themselves every single day on YouTube, confusing themselves, spending a bunch of money, and we're going to get through it in the next 45 minutes to write you a prescription to say, how does that club stack up to what we got? So hand me your club for a second. Let's go over this.
All right.
And we like to keep it simple. Golf is too easy to overcomplicate. We got plenty of time for that. His golf club, I would say, is a mid to low bounce. It's at 30 degrees aloft, so for a 7-iron, it's quite a bit de-lofted. Tiger Woods plays his loft at 36. This is 6 degrees stronger, and that's why he might be hitting this a little bit further than a traditional 7-iron, if you will. The line angle I measured was 59 degrees, so that's a few degrees flat. We'd call it like 2.5 degrees flat. We have a 120-gram shaft, so we'd say this is a pretty heavy golf club. Mid-kick shaft, so that's the profile of the shaft, and it's a stiff flex, and Duppont's known to make a little bit softer flexing shafts when you look at its industry standards and who they compare themselves to in the marketplace. Standard length, standard size grip, swing weights D2. There's a lot of standard things about this, just a little bit flat, nothing crazy going on here. But let's see how he does in this test. And we're going to test for 8 variables, but we're not going to tell him which ones we're going to do because we want to let him hit them first, then analyze the data, and then pick out the winners. We don't want the guy getting in the way of his prescription with preconceived notions. And that's exactly what we do. We turn off the lights, we make you hit them, ask you what felt good, analyze the data, and then we go from there. White number 1.
We're good.
You're just trying to do your swing, put your move on it, and we're just going to let the club come to us. Oh, baby. Come on. Okay, so sounded really good off the face. We can see it missed a little left. Don't. Just let it be. Just let it be. Consistency is going to win this race. Decent. And once we get our third shot with this one, that's our baseline club. And then from there on, we're trying to figure out, does it feel better or does it feel worse? Thank you. One more.
Ugh.
It's all right.
Drop kicked it.
Well, that doesn't scare me so much. And again, it only takes a couple bad swings for a golfer to be like, oh shit, something's wrong with my swing. And that may be true, but it may be not true. And that's kind of what this process can divulge, is are we misdiagnosing our symptoms? Are we taking the wrong medication, and are we going the wrong way and getting sick? I mean, it happens every single day. And if you don't know everything about your golf club and how it's matched up to you, you may be doing the same thing. I mean, that's what we've figured out here. The clubs are more important than you think. Cool. So what we're going to try to figure out after your next 2 shots is if this club feels better or worse than the first one. We want to keep it simple because we're going to get complicated when we start analyzing that data. Okay, here we go. Same thing. That was a great shot. Push draw, middle of the green, little high on the face. Little high on the face. It's okay. Now, guys, there are going to be shots that we have to deem as outliers. And that is probably the most beneficial thing when you go find a fitter nearest you is the guy who's fitting you can help determine when those were outliers. I'm going to say that was close to one. We don't know yet, but we may give him one extra shot saying, hey, that was just a bad representation of what he does. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. If it's really good, we'll get rid of it. Better. Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to give you one more. But if I had to guess right now, just off those two shots that you hit decent, I think number 2 might have a slight edge over number 1.
It feels that way.
Just a little bit. Okay. Good enough. It's good enough. All 3 balls drew. I don't think you tiger striked all 3 of them, but it was pretty good. We're going to analyze the data, but if you had to be a guessing man, what club do you think felt better, number 1 or number 2?
2 for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's go ahead and take this one away. And let's go ahead and try number 3. Same thing, change nothing. There you go. Beautiful. So the one thing I'm trying to pay attention to when he hits these shots is not just listening for the tiger strike, but it's how much turf is he hitting and when does it sound like he's hitting it. So you can hear a really, really well struck shot compared to the other ones. That one wasn't bad. 2 millimeters low, still not what we're after, but that was a pretty darn good shot. Let's hit 2 more. That a boy. Good shot. Good shot. Talk to me about your divots on the golf course. You taking big fat beaver tails?
That's generally a miss, yeah. I will hit it fat every now and then.
Okay, but when you hit a good shot, are you taking a big divot normally?
Not really.
Yeah,
Not
I would
really.
have guessed that to be true. Boy, Martin. Okay, so there was an outlier shot in number 2. There was borderline an outlier shot in number 1 on shot number 3. But this club right here didn't need any fixing. There was just 3 shots. They all kind of sounded the same. That one was 7 millimeters low. Which one do you think had the most consistent feel, contact, so on and so forth?
So far, I'm still feeling like 2.
Okay, he thinks number 2. I'm leaning towards number 3. So let's pull up the data and let's see who has the tightest dispersion and figure out how it got there. And again, I'm allowed to cheat a little bit because I know your angle of attack, and there are trends. There are small trends that go into this, but they're not universal. So just because you're shallow doesn't mean you need low bounce, but when you come in as shallow as you do, a lot of times that the bounce is what's causing that drop kick. Perfect. All right, so how do we go about determining the winner? And this is really where the art starts to take over unless it's clear as day. I don't care who the fastest ball speed is. I'm really looking at the consistency of it. So we can see right away which one's not the winner. White number 1's not the winner because its ball speed is 3 miles an hour slower, and it's the same shaft, it's the same lie angle, it's the same swing weight, everything about it's the same. So we have to say that white number 1's the loser. Now we did have to delete one on number 2, but white 2 and white 3 are neck and neck. We controlled our launch slightly better with white 3. Both spin rates are very consistent, but I do like the 5900. You do launch the ball a little high. Okay, so you do have a very high ball flight. It's right in between those. So when you look at this, you might be like, man, I don't know which one to choose. Well, we know it's not high, and we could even split the difference, say as long as it's in like a mid-low bounce, you could probably play either one, but I would err on the low side knowing because your angle of attack. So right now I'm looking at his current golf club saying, well, his golf club's a mid-low. Okay, well, maybe his sole design's not holding him back too much. You bet your ass I fit him into those things, so it is what it is. It was, what, like 4 years ago or something?
Yeah,
all right.
That's right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the black test, and we'll talk about what it is. So what do we know? We know that you're mid to low. mid-low, and there's plenty of profiles in this industry that fit that bounce. So if you were hot and bothered trying to buy a new set, there's a handful of things that we could start to prescribe. Let's just see how these launch and spin rates keep going, and we can make a better diagnostic then. Black number 1. Whoa, Tiger boy. This is my favorite test. This is the best test. This test right here is the one that can expose how much a golf club can play a role in a golfer's life. Okay, so I know that ball went left. That's okay. Just go ahead and hit it again. You Tiger struck the shit out of that. 7 millimeters low, pretty centered in the face.
Oh.
It's okay. I got you. Don't change anything, just do what you do. Some clubs, this is what's cool about the process, is there are just clubs you're just not gonna hit well. It's just how it works. But there's gonna be clubs that you hit very well. I'm gonna take that one from you.
Please.
You don't like that one?
I don't like this one. I don't like this one either, man. It's just, what's cool about this test is we force people to hit clubs that they probably won't hit well. And what's interesting about that is sometimes they hit them great and you don't even know why. You can't even explain it. But when it's happening, it's hard to deny. And we've got all our best results by following the data. The data seems to be the equalizer here. All right, black number 2. Let's see if it's better or worse.
Ooh.
Okay. So right away, I noticed the ball started a little bit more off to the right, which is what we want if we want that ball to draw a little bit. If you want your ball to draw, it should start a little out to the right so it's got room to move back. Okay, that ball flew dead straight. Started right, stayed right. Angle of attack is staying right around 3 degrees. Pretty good. Draw. All right, I want to see strike location on that one. What's the strike on that? Is that 12? Survey says 9. Close. That's in Tiger strike range. A little heely, but that's in Tiger strike range. Now, when you hit that last shot, how much of a divot or turf interaction did you feel?
Not very much, to be honest.
We noticed that when we hit the ball down below that first groove like Tiger did, there's not a lot of turf interaction that goes along in those strikes. And it goes back to the story of him talking to Scotty Scheffler about when he's really flushing it, he noticed he doesn't take much of a divot. We have found a direct correlation to the Tiger strike location and that very thing.
So I'm on the right track, basically?
We are on the right track.
Tour car coming.
Defining the Tiger strike is what sets us apart. And that ball drew. So we got the draw with the Tiger strike. Very nice. Boom, baby, come on!
That had the snap.
Let's go! You kidding me?
That had the snap.
Dude, that's how you win U.S. Opens, dog.
All
right there.
Senior tour, here I come.
That's it. Look at that. All right, 8 millimeters low. Anything, again, and it has to do with sticker placement, guys. Where you put the stickers on the clubs is where this thing measures. So we have a special place that we put our stickers. So these are our metrics. Anything between 8 and 12 millimeters low on the face. So that was perfect. Let me take that from you. Was this one better or worse than number 1?
Well, that was better.
Okay. I would agree, brother. It was way better. You hit 2 shots in a row that were absolutely perfect. So here's the deal. If I give you a club that you swing and you hit the best shot of your life, and I ask you to do it again, and I say, what are you going to try to do on this next shot? Wouldn't you say, just try to do the same thing?
Yeah.
That's where good golf lives. If you hit a shot perfectly on the face and it misses 15 yards left, and you ask the guy, what are you going to do this next one? He goes, I don't know, I'm aiming to the right. That's not where good golf lives. We need to lead the dance and let the club follow. The club is there to support us. Here we go. Black, number 3. Ooh, is it turning? Is it turning? Call it, Martin, come on!
Slightly. Yeah. It was a little gust of wind there.
That wasn't bad.
Just held it up.
All right, ball started right. It had 33 RPMs of left spin. Interestingly enough, we hit that slightly towards the toe. You've been living off the heel. That's kind of interesting. Maybe it was an outlier. Let's see. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. Okay, a little bit of early turf. What does the ball do when we hit the ground early? it goes left. It just has a propensity to miss left. So if you're missing left on the golf course, the first thing you should ask yourself is, am I hitting it high on the face? And try to figure out why that might be happening. It's not because, it might not be as swing related as people think.
All right.
Okay, one more. One more.
Oh!
I'm gonna give you one more. Now, I believe that the lie angle of your golf club inherently will groom your swing in a direction, whether it be good or bad. Tiger Woods talked about before he made a swing change, the first thing they would do is tweak his lie angles a little bit to support the movement that he wanted to do.
Right.
Okay? So, you know, it's almost like, are we swinging it or is it swinging us? Is it a combination of both? Cool. All right. How did this one feel to you? Contact-wise, not where the ball's going, but how you contacted it and how consistent it was with that contact. Better or worse than number two?
Pretty good.
Okay, better or worse?
I would say, I think 2 felt a little better for me.
I would agree. I would be voting for number 2 as well. Let's go ahead and throw up the data and see what it says. And I think the reason is you got the ball lower on the face and still got it to draw. You hit these ones higher on the face and got it to draw, but we know that that's not going to be long lasting. That's only going to serve its purpose for so long. You'll lose the tournament when it matters most.
Right.
Okay. Look at the difference. Okay, this is what I like and this is what I enjoy, is when the numbers start to separate themselves. So what our job here at Forward Golf is to prioritize these 8 variables. Which ones mean the most and which ones mean the least? What if some of them do nothing for us? Well, we could eliminate them from the test, maybe add something different. But lie angle is the #1 way to influence someone's face-to-path relationship. Now, what's interesting about this is a lot of times we don't see such a crazy ball speed difference. A lot of times they're more similar, but this makes our job easy. Black was terrible. We're going to eliminate black #1. Black #2 was good, and black #3 was good. Black #2 is slower than black #3, and we see that like every single day. I haven't quite figured that one out, don't know why. But if you look at the standard deviations and the consistency of it, you were much, much better with black #2. More consistent ball speed, more consistent launch, more consistent spin, everything's more consistent, and your grouping is super duper tight, and we know that they were drawing. Let's look at the strike location and see if that'll back us up. But what a risk. We're here on live television. We're going to risk it all on some data that I'm not even sure of, brother. But that's what we do. We always live on the wild side here at Forward Golf. Black #1, 1 millimeter high. Black #2, 6 millimeters low on average. Black #3, 2 millimeters low. We know Tiger strikes 8, so smallest dispersion, most consistent. Why? Because it had the best strike location. You don't need a launch monitor, guys, because Tiger strikes create the data. All right, let's move on to the next test. Blue, 59. What we just tested was 57.5 and 61.5. 61.5 is our mid, 57.5 is our flat, and I don't think that the data is going to justify me keeping you at 59. I think I want to go up a touch because it dropped that strike location and gave us those beautiful draws. I'd probably mark you in right now, pencil you in for 61 degrees. So we would want to bend your club 2 degrees more upright. Something's changed. Something's changed in the last 4 years, and that's totally, totally normal. All right, blue #1. The process will continue. I won't tell you what it is, but you are more than welcome to verbalize whatever you think you may feel.
Okay.
But I would beware. People say some stupid stuff sometimes. Trying to guess what it is. Here we go, blue #1. Better or worse? Ooh, Martin.
Felt a little high in the face.
Did it?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm guessing 6. I'm guessing 6. I could be wrong. I've been wrong. 5. It's a good shot. Sounded like a 5 or a 6. You can live with 5 and 6s. I like 8s, but you can live with 5 and 6s. Weight is a... I mean, I don't know. The blue is a very interesting test. Don't want to talk about what it is. Don't want to divulge what it is. But blue is a very interesting test. All right, one more, buddy. Those were 2 good shots. That one was only 2 millimeters low, so a little high on the face.
Oh. got the camera guy.
It's okay. I'm going to give you one more with this, just
Yeah,
because that was
me,
clearly,
huh?
yeah. No
That was
worries.
all me.
The thing about this process is it does take 72 shots. And to get a guy who doesn't play a lot of golf, which is all of us, we're going to hit some bad ones, and we got to be able to delete those. That's totally fine. One more good swing here. Beautiful. Very nice. Devin, let's go ahead and delete the shot before that because it has no purpose for our data. All right, so now we got to see, does blue 2 beat number 1? And this one has to do with, obviously we're trying to survey how the contact felt, but I also want you to tell me how it felt while you were swinging it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you felt like you were working real hard or you can't feel the head, anything you can verbalize always does help. It's a balance of the data and what you're feeling. That one sounded clean. That was a clean strike. Let's see what it was. Was it heely? Didn't go as far as I would expect.
No, I think maybe.
Yep, heel but low. We got 11 millimeters low, but a little bit into the heel. That's fine. Went very straight, slight draw. Angle of attack is staying at 3 degrees. You haven't changed nothing. That was another clean shot. I wonder if you healed it again.
I think so.
Does that club feel any different than the first one?
It definitely feels a little easier for me to control on my swing.
Okay.
In my backswing.
How do you think that's happening?
I'm not 100%.
Okay.
Is it a little lighter maybe?
Okay, yep, it very well could be. One more shot. 10 heel, 14 low. Come on. Okay, stayed out to the right ever so slightly. Again, every golfer is different, but typically a guy who's trying to draw the ball, usually it's the overdraw that goes long and left that starts to really plague them. So as long as that's staying close, I want it to tip over. That's not the worst miss. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this, every single vertical strike you just did with this club was double digits low on the face. So it was airing towards the thin side, which inherently means we're moving low point forward. How many golfers suffer because their low point's too far forward? I can count them on my hand, very, very little. And if they do, it's a good player problem. Most people are always catching their low point slightly behind the ball, and that's all forward golf's trying to do. Because sole design, weight, flex, profile, all alter low point on how you load and unload that shaft. All right, I'm gonna take it from you. Don't know if it was the winner. Number 1 did pretty good, but the strikes were a little cleaner with number 2. Blue number 3, let's see if it's better or worse than blue number 2. Ooh. Damn, that thing had a little giddy up in it, no? Little left, but you smashed that. You will note, well, we don't want to talk about it quite yet, but yes, that would be something I would totally expect. 5 millimeters low, 2 millimeters toe. I'm liking that. I don't want him in the heel like that.
Ah, that's my fault.
It's okay. It's all right.
I can delete that one.
You are forgiven, my son.
You're forgiven.
Mm-hmm. Pinpoint it.
That one felt pretty good.
That was very nice. Well, I liked it because it started to the right, had a baby draw. Didn't hit as low on the face as I'd like, but it was a damn good shot. One more.
No.
It's okay. I can't delete that one, though. It was a bad shot, but it wasn't bad enough. Okay, let's look at the data. And here's the deal, because again, I know there's a lot of guys who have adopted this process and they're wondering, how do I use this thing? And the general rule of thumb is you got to realize who's in front of you. Martin's a pretty good golfer. At least he's a pretty good ball striker. And when we look at that, we have to always remember what shaft is he playing, and do we want to take him way far away from that? I mean, we don't want to rock the boat too much with a guy who's got some skill. So if we gum across the data and it's hard to analyze, you always can error closer to the shaft weight that he's playing unless it's just completely terrible. And your warm-up wasn't that bad. So always got to remember that. All right, okay, sometimes I do guess wrong, and it looks like I may have done that today. Ball speed 113 to 109 to 110. Now, typically ball speed doesn't really matter in a 7-iron because it's a precision tool, but sometimes if you see a 4 to 3.5 mile an hour difference, it's trying to tell you something. Ball speed was very consistent. It just wasn't as consistent as Blue 2. It did launch the ball more consistently. It did not spin the ball as consistently, and it didn't spin it nearly as much. You want to know why? Vertical strike. You hit the ball lower on the face, it should launch a little lower, and it should always spin a little bit more. And that's inherently the shaft's role, to position the strike location on the face. Typically, firmer shafts will go higher up, softer shafts will go lower, more towards the toe. It really depends on us, but that's why that spin rate is so much higher. 159 in a 1 yard spread, 151 in a 2 yard spread, and you are not Blue number 3. We do not need to be playing a 70-gram shaft. Can we go ahead and pull up the strike location so I can get a little clearer image of this? But to me, it looks like I'm going to be splitting the difference between number 1 and number 2. I liked some things about both of them, and then you are playing a 120-gram shaft. So it makes me think we're probably going to stay between 110 to 120 is going to be my guess. Average strike location on Blue 1 was 3 millimeters low. I don't like that, but that's equivalent to a 135-gram shaft. It's a heavy club. You didn't do bad with it, but you didn't do perfect with it. Then with the 100-gram shaft, or the 415-gram club that we've made, you're 11 millimeters low on the face, and then you're 1 millimeter low with a 380-gram total weight golf club. So I'm going to say we're going to split the difference. If that's 100-gram, that's 135-gram. I got you at 115 to 120. So right away, his sole design checks out. We need to make his lie angle 2 degrees more upright than what we fit you into 4 years ago. And we're going to keep you basically in the same shaft weight. There's nothing to tell us to do something crazy, so we're not. All right, so you're batting 2 for 3 right now. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Okay, pink. So every time I grab him a color, it's a new test. And this test is 3 clubs that are the same in every way, shape, and form, except for the thing that I'm trying to test for. And that is what's been so nice about working with TPT is we prototype these shafts to be at 0 tolerance to do exactly what we're trying to do in this test. So no one's ever isolated the variables as fine-tuned as what we're doing right now. So the data is as good as it can be. Here we go. Pink number 1. Wonder what it is.
That felt nice.
Okay, a little verbal confirmation. First time we've heard that today. Nice. Always like that. But sometimes I can throw the fitter off, dude. Where's he at? Okay, 4 millimeters low, dead middle of the club though. No toe, no heel, dead center. So I'm sure that felt great. Backspin's really nice. Dissenting, he's hitting a little too high. So I can see why he's playing a little bit of a de-lofted club. We've got him at 30 degrees of loft on his gamer. These are all at 34. He's hitting the ball a little too high. Woo! Question is, will the shaft lower the ball fly? I mean, shaft companies tell us all kinds of stuff. Low launch, low spin, high launch, mid kick, all this stuff. 1, how does it apply to us? And 2, how much of a needle mover can a shaft really do? And we're testing such a wide spectrum, we should see substantial differences, but that doesn't mean we always do. Oh, I had my fingers crossed for you, baby! Yeah!
Little baby.
Go in! Watch this. Down the chimney. Oh my God. Almost blew that shit up. That was 3 good shots. See that adrenaline?
Felt good, yeah.
You feel that?
Starting to loosen up a bit.
You feel that?
I feel
It's hard to
confident.
loosen up now. I'm getting my muscles.
This is where pre-shot routine really matters, bro. I got you all excited. You gotta simmer, you gotta settle down now. This is the full experience here, dude.
You got pink too?
That was really good. That was really good. So look, 0 millimeters heel, 6 millimeters low on the face. That dog's gonna hunt. Very nice. Let's see if pink 2 can dethrone pink 1. Ooh, she wants a piece of it too, doesn't she?
He said he's getting more.
She wants a piece of it. Pink 2 said, come on. She said, come on. Here we come, baby.
He's getting hot.
Oh, he's so hot. That's a perfect ball flight. 9 millimeters low. More tigery. Ball speed was down too. Martin, let's go. Okay, what'd that sound like to the jury?
Go in. Go in.
If it doesn't tiger strike, it doesn't count. 2. Where was my jury at? So again, that's what we pride ourselves on. He just hit a ball 2 inches from the hole. And that is an opportunity for every fitter in the world to jump and pounce on that club going, man, there it is. But I already set out the guidelines. If you were listening to me, you could look at the vertical strike and say, well, why are you trying to sell me that? That's not what you said in the beginning. And I think that's the difference here at Foreward Golf. We're defining what perfection is. We're telling you that you can achieve it. And there's no smoke and mirrors. You can just look at vertical impact and say, well, that wasn't a Tiger Strike. Why are you selling me that club? Well, we won't. We know the Tiger Strike's going to give us that data. So that's the difference. That was a good result, but it would be short-lived. You wouldn't be sustainable.
Nope,
I'm
nope.
going to give you one more. One more. Stop. I didn't stop like you told me to. Nice shot, Martin. Okay, besides that outlier, did it feel better or worse to you?
It felt pretty good. I think.
Well, they're not a whole bunch different. Again, they're the same profile, they're the same weight, they're just different flexes. Well, I'll let the cat out of the bag. It's a flex test, you know. It is. It's a flex test. I couldn't hold it in. But you don't know which flex it was, bro. See, I can say it's a flex test, you just don't know which one it is. Okay, pink number 3. I'll let the cat out of the bag all the way once we get 3 more shots in. Can number 3 beat 1 or 2? I got my money on number 1. I don't yell that loud for nothing, man. I know the good ones when I hear them. Ooh, a little thinner.
Yeah.
What are you calling? 12, 14? I got a 14. Yeah. I got a 14. I got 800 on 14.
I got a double bogey on that one.
I got 814. Pow! I just won the money. That's a 14. Zoom in on that, please.
What'd the jury say?
The jury's wrong, bro. Bob Barker got that one. That's 14. Okay, now look, but watch this. So remember, we're talking about when it hits high on the face, where's the ball miss? A little left. What happens if we get below the equator? Starts to miss to the right.
Right.
That's the number one thing that I figured out like 7 years ago, just by hitting enough balls, playing enough golf. I started to notice this and started to piece together all the ideas that I have today. And spin went up. Oh, that thing freaking, okay, beautiful. Okay, what we're seeing right now, and again, so let's see the strike location on that before the conversation starts. 6 millimeters low, he's been there kind of all day. That ball started a little bit more right, didn't draw a whole lot. I'm gonna let you hit one more, we're gonna talk about this, and this has been an interesting thing that I've noticed that I never noticed until I implemented the TPTs into the process. So hit one more shot and I'll let the cat completely out of the bag here. Okay, chunked it a little bit, so that's gonna distort the data slightly. But typically, if I had to create a universal truth to this, lower torque shafts square up the face more and they miss more to the left for a right-handed player. Softer shafts with higher torque are gonna typically start the ball more to the right and leave them out to the right. And when I got these shafts in here, I could really start to see these trends. And if you wouldn't have chunked that last one, we would have seen that trend where it's more left, middle, and you were gonna miss that one more out to the right because it's just got a higher torque value to that shaft. So it's gonna be twisting a little bit more. All right, I mean, dude, I'm pretty sure I can call this one. I think pink 1 for sure. I think pink 2, we got 1 delete. Pink 3, I don't think we deleted anything. Ooh, okay. He must have just roasted one. Something happened with pink 1. The ball speeds are the same between pink 1 and 2, but right away it goes, oh, pink 1's not the most consistent ball speed, but the launch, very consistent. It's that backspin right there, a 67 RPMs different in backspin. Typically is gonna be reminiscent from a really good strike location. Let's look at that, Devin, because pink number 2 is fighting for dear life to be in this conversation. I hate for my ears to get beat, but let's see. 0 toe, so you're hitting it dead middle of the face at 5 millimeters low. Then your 7 millimeters heel at 7 millimeters low. So one of them got it lower on the face, but the other one kept it dead center. I'm gonna split the difference between an extra stiff and kind of the softer stiff, but I wanna lean more towards into this one because I like you staying dead center. If I give you a low bounce, I think it's gonna be the X factor because obviously these are all medium bounces that we're hitting now. I'm gonna err towards pink 1 And again, it goes back to looking at your shaft. You're playing a stiff flex. It's freaking close. It's really close. Maybe you could have hard stepped it a little bit, but I'm almost thinking the shaft that you have until we do the next test is checking out. I'd keep you in a stiff, kind of a firmer stiff. I will CPM that to see exactly what we made you back then or check your file, but I'm not gonna get pulled away from you hitting it in the dead middle of the face because if anything, you're a heel striker. Heel strikers need to be out of the heel a little bit. So pink number 1 is gonna win this, which is gonna stay, he needs something very rigid with very low torque. I'll take it. So what do we know? We've got mid-low bounce. We've got a standard lie angle. We're gonna do 61, so you might call that a degree flat. We are in 115 to 120 gram shaft, and we need to be in that extra stiff, low torque profile. So that's what we know right now. Let's do the purple test. Once we have the purple test concluded, we will actually be able to look in our database and choose a shaft or recommend a few shafts that we know fit that weight, that flex, and that kick point. Once we know that, it's off to the races and start testing. All right, purple number 1. Yes, sir. Oh, buddy. That thing's tipping over. That was a fucking great shot, man. Go. Good shot. Super clean. If you could just bottle that one up. Yeah, that's so good. Look at 9 millimeters low, 3 millimeters heel. That's gold right there. That's literally perfect. I mean, his angle of attack's changed half a degree. Yeah. It hasn't changed at all. Oh, Martin. Okay, if you're gonna get a hole in one, do it with some skill, baby. There we go. That was it. That's skill shit right there. You did that. How do I know? Because of Tiger Strike. The physics that you applied to the golf ball were displayed on that screen because the earth had no influence on the shot. That's like real-time stuff. Every time you chunk it, and we call it a tour chunk, hitting it 2 grooves on the face is a tour chunk. But it just leaves us vulnerable to things that we can't predict. Those last 2 shots are on a towel. Why? Because they hit it in the same part of the face. And he swings it the same every time, and we can prove it. We already did. He swings it the same. The earth is oftentimes the thing that's missing the shot.
Nope.
It's okay. All right, so now we have purple number 2. Let's see how purple 2 does in comparison to purple 1, which was pretty darn good. I like purple 1. One of the most beautiful things about this process is, and what I want coaches to realize is this is not a tool specifically for club fitting. It's a tool for many, many different things. If you own a repair shop, you could take someone through this and just end up regripping a guy's set of clubs because everything else checked out. An instructor can take responsibility fully for their player's game because not only they're working on their technique and what they're coaching him through, but they also can use this test to say, is there anything crazy holding my student back that's making it harder for me to implement the changes in his swing that I'm looking to make? So if someone comes and can't hit any of these variables, what does it mean? It means that nothing about the club is going to right the ship for you, and we have to do something else. We have to look into lessons. It happens, but a lot of times it's the club junkies don't want to take responsibility for their own swing, and this is a way to get them to submit, like, oh, dude, there is something wrong with my swing because the long length and all this stuff that I'm trying doesn't help. And that's a good part about this is it sells a lot of lesson packages to a lot of people. All right. Game time. Oh boy, Martin, it is fucking game time, baby. Yeah.
The whole
game time. That was a skyscraper of a shot. So as I'm watching this, and again, I should have took more time in the flex test to explain it, but we'll do it here. Not a lot of clubs so far have changed your launch from being 22 to 23 degrees. Can I get an amen? I mean, that's what's happening. So the flex of the shaft, the weight of the shaft, and now we're doing the kick point of the shaft, he's been hanging around 23 this whole time. So what that tells me is there's nothing that can change your launch conditions and spin more than the loft of the club itself. And that's things I don't think a lot of people take into account. Let's go ahead and hit 2 more shots. That was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Okay, pretty good. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
There's a difference there. That wasn't bad. You would live to fight another day right there. That's in the middle of the green, just didn't tiger strike it, and you know what? We're human. We're not going to tiger strike everything. There's no club that's going to get tiger strikes every time. We got to increase the percentage of what you normally do. We're here to find a better club. I don't know if a perfect club exists. That's because every day we wake up, we're a little different. It just is what it is.
No.
It's okay. I'm going to take it from you. I'm just going to take it from you. I'll take that, and I'll hand you the next one. All right, purple number 3. We're doing a shaft profile test. I'd let the cat out of the bag early again. This has got a softer tip section in it. Started a little bit more right. Is it coming back? Draw, 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 draw. So the first shaft I had you hit was the firmest in the tip section. So down there by the head is where it's the firmest, and it's got some give more in the handle. Second shaft is mostly a mid kick, and then this one's got a softer tip section, firm butt section. So this is the exact opposite profile as the first club he hit. Completely opposite. It's a little thin. I may give you 2 more. And the cool thing about this test is we've prioritized these from the most important to the least important. So as people start to go through it, they start running out of gas. As long as we've got through these first 4 tests, we're in pretty safe waters. We've got the data that we need. So it's not the end of the world if we start dragging ass a little bit. Okay, that was a good ball. I need 1 more out of you. Okay. It looks to me on those 2 good shots that the ball didn't want to draw back. It's going right, staying right, which is interesting because you haven't hit a lot of shots that do that, and this is the same lie angle as the club before it. So it makes me think this shaft is drooping a little bit more in that tip section, which is inherently keeping the face a little bit more open. 1 more swing, please. Ooh, baby. On a scale from 1 to 10 on all the shots you hit today, how did that one feel?
This one felt pretty good.
Okay, I'm going to let you hit another one then. That was a great shot. So the fitter always has the right to ask a guy to hit another shot, because what do we not want to do? You don't want to be wrong. You want to give the club the opportunity to shine. That was a good enough shot to hit it again. 1 more. Okay, that's all I needed to see right there. All right, let's pull up the data. Let's see who's the winner. I know we took a little break in the middle of this one, but I think I got my money on number 1. Yeah, I don't know if we had to delete anything from number 1. Let's go ahead and look at that data. So this was a shaft kick point test. They all weigh the same. They're all the same flex. They're just flexing from different regions of the shaft. And again, we don't want to take anything at face value. We want to assume nothing. We want to test everything because we know the majority of companies that are in business are trying to make a bunch of money, and we want to make sure that we're playing our best golf. And I think sometimes there's a little conflict of interest there when you start to dive into golf. Okay, this is pretty cool. You don't see this every day, and I like it when you do. If you look at the trajectories of these, they're completely different. Now, the mid kick, which is purple number 2, we don't really need to look at that one because you hit a couple really bad shots, which is bringing that launch down. But if we look at the orange versus the red, which is low kick, firm tip and a soft tip, completely different. One of them launched 20 degrees high on average. You've been around 22 all day long. I kind of like that. 3 full degrees different. They both spin the same amount. So what that tells me is the dynamic loft must have been a little different. You're getting more lead shaft deflection with that softer tip, which is kicking that ball up, which is what it's supposed to do. It's what it would do on a robot, but that doesn't mean every person does it. We are 100% going to say you need a firm tip section in your shaft. So now we have one other working element saying, well, what's he currently playing compared to what he's got? You have more of a mid-kick shaft right now. I don't know why. Maybe things changed. Maybe I was wrong. But in this test, using the TPT shaft, which is narrowed down everything, I need you in a firmer tip section. So Dynamic Gold comes to mind. LA Golf comes to mind. TPT obviously is the shaft that's in there. So that one's performing pretty well as well. If we did go with the TPT, I definitely would be doing the 14 low and I'd tip it 1 inch. And it would be a marriage between purple number 1 and pink number 1, which are probably the 2 best clubs you fit today.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right, green test, baby. Green is a fun test. Green is a test that I didn't really anticipate making, but I ended up doing it once I realized that I could, and it's proven to be a pretty cool test. This test is going to test stuff that the industry can't, and what's interesting about it is when people hit a club good that the industry can't produce, it makes you wonder if there's opportunity, right? There's opportunity there. Mm-hmm. All right, green number 1. So the Foreward golf club is different than most because of the weight ports in the back. Now I know there are club companies out there with weight ports. The reason why we have our weight ports is so we can do these tests and write these prescriptions that may be a little bit more abstract. The reason why the weights are there is we're going to do a length test today, and I had to make the swing weight and total weight be the same even though the club was 2 inches different in length. You have to have interchangeable head weights to do this. But what we started to wonder, or what I started to wonder, is how much mass does the head, can it have in it? And we can make this head very, very heavy, and we can make it very, very light, but at the same time we can control the total weight, so we're seriously doing just a head weight test. All 3 clubs will weigh the same, but 3 clubs have different amounts of mass put into them. Okay? Not going to tell you which one's which, but that's what's going on. Ooh, a toe strike. That a baby. Very nice. It seems to be, right? Now what's interesting is not a lot of people hit the heavy clubs very well. Well, Martin does.
This feels similar to my own.
Okay.
Weight, I mean.
Yeah, it's going to be more similar. I think the shaft's a little lighter, but the head sure weighs a lot more. Dude, how good is that, bro? How good is that? Not a lot of people hit that club very good. And not a lot of people hit blue number 1 very good. And you hit them both very well. What's interesting is when someone hits blue number 1 well, they oftentimes hit green number 1 well. I don't need anything else. Those were good strikes. They all drew. They were very clean. I'm surprised that that's telling me it was 2 degrees or 2 millimeters low on the face. It sounded like a lot lower than that, but you know, you can only trust the machine so much. All right, green number 2. This club weighs the exact same amount as the last one, but the head weighs a lot less. Okay. Talk to me.
Felt pretty good.
Okay. Do you think you tiger struck that?
Close.
It was close. 5 millimeters, a little bit towards the heel. Okay, very nice. Launch angle just went up about a couple degrees, so it launched higher. Dynamic loft.
I'm interested in this rate of closure change right there.
Yeah, we can look at that. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, my God.
Green's my color.
The Irish.
I'm Irish, so I am.
Nice par. 4 millimeters low, 8 millimeters heel. So I'm interested, and this is what we've been seeing. Can I tell these guys all my secrets? Think they're going to steal them? Think Slugworth's out there ready to pounce? Go ahead and hit one more, dude. I know Slugworth's out there, man. They be looking. Come on. They be looking. You know what? If we can make the game better and they steal our ideas, let's do it, baby. Come on. Whoa! Draw, draw, draw. That was straight. That club feel different than the first one?
Yeah, I can feel it's a little lighter for sure.
Yeah. So the total weight's the same, but there's less mass in the head. Now again, those were 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. Those were decent. There's no outliers there. But the consistency of where that ball ended up were different. You had a harder time getting that face a little closer to the path just right. So a lot of guys will get a lighter club and start hooking it, but I've seen a lot of guys get a lighter club. Did it change his path? No, it did not. It did not. Start leaving the ball to the right. I've seen both. Green number 3. Green number 3. Now this is an extreme version. The club weighs the same amount, but now there's very little weight in the head. Oh, he freaking absolutely hammered that one. Now, oftentimes we can swing it faster, but can we develop more control? 0-0. Okay, you zeroed out the machine. So that's too high on the face, but you did not hit it off the heel and you did not hit it off the toe. Angle of attack is the same, your path is the same, you haven't changed anything. So again, the consistency of what we do is really what matters, because nothing's really changing. It's how often can we do it. That's the game. That's what Scotty Scheffler's doing so frickin' well, is repeatability. Oh man, that's my sound, buddy. That's my sound.
That's pretty good.
Fuck yeah, that bitch is singing, man. Dude,
It feels so
she
weird,
is
like
singing a beautiful little hymn.
What'd that feel like?
I mean,
Look
you
at,
know,
there's a, well fuck, it's a 0-10, bro.
And how'd it feel off the face?
I mean, it felt like I hit it like thin or not great.
So
But
that's,
when you're doing it wrong for so long.
that is the number one, and again, I tell people this all the time. The worst thing that you can do as a student in golf is take people at face value. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is gonna walk up and try to give you some advice. But that doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it's applicable to you. So when I tell people that the Tiger Strike is touching the bottom groove, so on and so forth, that's not for you to believe, it's for you to test. I've convinced myself, and I've convinced other people that I've locked in my dojo and I don't let them leave until they confirm it with me, that this is actually happening and it's where good golf lives. So a lot of people come in here going, you know what, Chad? I don't know if I'm buying clubs or not today, but I can tell you this. I have been playing golf incorrectly, or the sensations that I'm getting on a good shot have been misconceived to a degree. And I tell them, I say, look, I'm pretty sure that I'm right, but why don't you go out and test it and look at your patterns? And lo and behold, you know, we shave off a couple strokes here and there with these guys because the Tiger Strike, I say, it's real. It's real. That was the best shot you've hit today. It was the best shot you've hit today.
Nice.
Yeah, without a
Let's see if you can do one more after that little pause, dude. Some real tournament shit.
Oh,
It's all right.
You got excited about that.
It's okay. I'll give you one more with it, but this is going to be an interesting one. This is, like Devin said, if you hit this one good, it's going to be interesting to navigate. Attaboy, Martin. That is good enough. It's a little high on the face, but that was
Yeah.
freaking solid, dude. All right, delete the one before it. Okay. Which one do you think felt the best in space? Like, which one do you feel the most comfortable with? And we got to remember, we're playing golf for 18 holes. We're kind of at that number of shots. So, like, as far as how tired you may be getting on the golf course, I think this test is in a good space to determine that. Does that thing feel too light?
I think for my liking, a little light.
It feels a little light. Perfect. Well, you're going to take note of that. So what do we do? D7 swing weight, D 1.5 swing weight, and C5 swing weight. All the total weight was the same. So with a little bit of counterbalance, with a little bit of head weight change, we're able to tap into the same total weight, different MOI, different balance point, different swing weight. I know there's a debate on what words we should use, but that's essentially what we did. How much mass can go into the head? That's what we did. Green 1, 111.7 ball speed. Green 2, 113. Green 3, 112.8. Green 3 is leading the ball speed standard deviation. It's leading the consistency in launch, but not by a lot. Green 1 controlled backspin the best and was the lowest amount of backspin. We'll see if that relates to Tiger Strike. And he hit at 156 in a 0-yard spread. And when you look at the dispersion, it is super tight. Now, don't freak out that we've got the super heavyweight competing with the super light one. We compare number 1 and number 3 all the time, which people are like, well, what the heck's going on? I got to compare the North and South Pole. What happened to the equator? I don't know. I don't know. It's freaking like frequency waves, dude. Freaking peaks, valleys, and troughs. I don't know. But we know that it's happening, and what we want to do is take a little bit more time to measure it and see what's going on. Let's look at that strike location. And let's see if there's something that lends itself to a lower strike on the face. We're gonna give precedence to that. All right, super heavy swing weight, 5 millimeters low, 0 millimeters low, 2 millimeters low. Average was 2, and he was hitting it 7 millimeters off the toe. He's a heel striker, that's interesting. With the medium swing weight, he was 2 millimeters to the heel, 5 millimeters low. And then with the light swing weight, he's 2 millimeters, 5 millimeters low. But he did it the most consistent, me oh my, with kind of all of them. Face to target, 2.9 closed, 0.4 closed, 1.5 open. That's interesting. His path was just as consistent, but look, he was a little bit more in to out with the heavy, a little bit less in to out. Okay, now we can put our little coach's hat on. See, this is the thing. If you want to be the best coach in the world, you need to be able to talk about golf clubs, but you need to understand what you want in a guy's golf swing. His standard deviation with the heavy one was very tight, but 5.2 degree in to out path is going to lend itself to harder to control low point. Usually we want to be within 3 degrees on either direction. You can be 3 degrees out to in, 3 degrees in to out, and you can really control low point well. As soon as you venture outside of that, you're gonna get a little sloppier. So I look at it and go, well, this one, he was 4.1 in to out at a 0.3, so a little bit more consistent, but it's more conducive to better low point control. And I thought you hit the fucking thing really good. Here's what else is cool. We have our weights come in and out. So if we risk the biscuit and make his head weight a little bit lighter because the data supports it and he ends up going to the golf course not liking it, come over here, I'll put the heavier ones in and send you out and see where you're at. So that's what's really cool is this isn't something that we have to, it's not set in stone. It's a dynamic thing and we can really play around with it. So with that said, I want to follow the data because you had the ability to turn the corner better. The club is starting to take its arc a little earlier with it, and I think ultimately that is going to clean up a lot of stuff from you. So there's the coach's perspective. I'm going to give my side to green number 3.
When you go to a target, like a specific target swing weight, how do you blend that Rubik's Cube to get to where you think? Is it gonna be the shaft profile? Are you gonna mix all that in?
So,
like, where would you get?
And this becomes a lot of the art in itself. So that has to do with, well, what grip is he going to be playing and how long is the club going to be? Because inherently, those are the 2 biggest factors to manipulate swing weight. The way I like to look at it is how much weight is in that head he just hit. And if I decide to go a ½ inch over, I'm just going to leave that same amount of head weight. We can't allow all these other things to, that's why swing weight's the wrong word. I'm looking at how much mass should he have in the head to give me those numbers. So again, that's an answer I honestly don't know. I hope that as more people adopt this and we start to gather more data, we're gonna have these answers. That's the whole goal. But we've created a baseline so we can start that conversation. So I would say I would measure that head weight of that club and I would basically match that. And again, it's dynamic. I can change it if we need to. So I would just match that exact head weight. And I think that's 2 6 grams with 2 1 grams on the sides, something like that. I take 12 out of the head. Okay. The cool thing about this test right here is, we've trimmed the shafts so that we're managing how flexible the shaft is relative to the weight of the head. And that was a hard math problem to figure out because when you lighten the head, it stiffens the shaft. And we want to make sure that shaft still has the capability of loading the same amount even though we took that mass out. So that's a complicated one. All right, orange test. Again, so we just got through the most important stuff. All the important stuff we just did is in the books. These next 2 are important, but we can read between the lines. It's a length test, and then we got a grip size test, and then it's over. So here we go. Orange number 1. And, what's interesting about this is when I made this process, there were certain tests that I thought would rock my world as far as expanding my horizons with what's going on. And I never expected the length test to do what it actually does. The length test may have more influence over ball flight than almost any other test. And I never would have imagined that. He thinned that one so it didn't happen, but a lot of times people will hit it higher. He drew it though. Look at 17 millimeters low with a draw. But that's also what it can lend itself to. Long clubs from a guy who comes way to the inside is welcoming a drop kick all day long.
Yep.
So I've noticed for a lot of over-the-top steep players, you go a little bit longer. they'll actually naturally shallow the club a little bit. When you give them a shorter club, they'll start to steepen it more. So depending on what you do, a golf club could influence you in a positive or negative way. That was 3 millimeters high on the face, and look at its angle of attack. Changed to 1.5 down.
That's crazy.
Yep. And you will see that with a long club. Oh, and then he just laces it. What?
Get one of them in the hole.
Hell yeah, dude, that thing was freaking pure, dude. I'm just gonna give you one more with that.
I want you to put it in the hole. I want
Actually, no, I won't. That was only. You can make some of these shots sound really good without Tiger striking it. It's not that easy to determine. But yeah, your angle of attack for the first time today has changed from basically an average of 3 since we started. That's half. And we see it all the time. So for super steep players that you want to shallow out a little bit, but they don't practice, the easiest way to do it is give them a longer golf club. Okay? You could call that a Band-Aid. See, that's what people say, I don't know if I really want like you to Band-Aid my whole game. And I thought about that in my head. I'm like, well, any tip I give you is a Band-Aid. If I tell you to strengthen your grip, is that a Band-Aid? If I tell you to flare your foot, like what? Where do Band-Aids start and where do they end? There's no such thing as a Band-Aid. They're all tips in an attempt to get us better. But what I've noticed is handing you a club and having you swing it is so less invasive than saying, hey, Martin, straighten your back before you set up. That takes a conscious effort. Here we go. Orange number 2. That's my man. That's my man.
Sweet and salty.
So good. That's so good. So good. Give me a 9.
Yep.
Give me a fucking 9. That's a 9. That's a 9 with a 4 heel. That is really good. Really, really good. And look, right back down to 2.3. So his angle of attack went steeper a little bit. Did you try to change it?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Dances with clubs, baby. Launch at 21 is good. Yeah, Martin, come on, boy.
Squeezing the juice.
So what is the length for? Well, many things. And one of the things my good friend George Gankis, really added to this process is a lot of times when he sends people to me, he says, Chad, this guy's clubs are too short. And the reason why I know this is I have a very particular way of how I want him to get set up. And if the club's too short, it gets his center of mass too far out on his toes, and he's making all these compensations in his backswing. So the length not only is a dynamic measurement to what you hit well, we as an instructor can say, look how much better he's setting up. He doesn't have to think about doing it. It's automatically getting there, and automatically gets you to pivot better. So there's a lot of things that you can look at when it comes to the length of the golf club and how it's affecting your student. That was 2 great shots. My man, buddy. That's a 3-pack. That's a 3-pack. Great shot, all drawing. We want every shot to draw, and then we want to manage how much is it drawing. Okay, 2 millimeters low on the face, so a little bit not Tiger strike, and that's what made that ball draw a little bit more. And that is, again, the most important, interesting thing with all this. High strikes always move more left than low strikes. All right, a short club. We went an inch over, now we're going an inch under, but the total weight and swing weight remain the same. So there's more mass in the head of this golf club to effectively do that. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm curious on this.
Yeah, I think it's going to lower his launch a little bit. Okay. A lot of people swing the short club slower, but that doesn't mean everybody does. Good shot. Okay, I really liked that shot. So that was a strike. In bowling, you just crushed the pocket right there. That was a perfect shot, 10 millimeters low with a Tiger. What's the launch? 21, okay, about the same. Angle of attack 3 down. No, it's okay. It's just a little thin. I would be more willing to accept a thin shot than those high on the face ones. I'll give you 1 to 2 more. Angle of attack, again, almost 3 down. Low on the face, slightly towards the heel. That just wasn't your best swing. It's okay. How short does that club feel?
Feels pretty short.
Okay.
but initially I liked it.
Well,
I hit the
again,
first one, so I think I'm just maybe
just do
getting
your best to
tired
give
here.
me 2 good swings here. If you don't hit them good, we're going to move on, but we're going to give it a chance because I liked the first one too. Okay. I'm going to give you one more, but that's probably enough for me. You hit too many good shots with a standard length golf club. You've hit too many good shots. And if this one's not competitive with the standard length golf club, there's no reason to even go a hair shorter. One more. Let's see what he's got. What do you guys think? You guys think this thing's going to go shorter length, or should we keep it standard? Whew, tough decisions. Oh, Martin wants that standard length, brother. And honestly, if there's one thing that you want to be biased towards, is the worst thing that you can do is prescribe a guy a club that is too short, because it compromises setup, will compromise the whole motion, and compensations and consistency, they're like evil brothers, man. They don't get along very well. So, yep. So erring, and again, if you error long, you can always trim a guy's club down. If you error short, no one wants extensions put into their brand new clubs. I promise you that. So as a fitter, when in doubt, err long, convince him to try it, and just tell him, hey, I'll trim him to length if you don't end up liking it. You want to always try to get your best horse in the race. Forward Golf is more concerned with the clubs we prescribe than you are. I know you don't want to waste money. I know you want good clubs, but anybody who's bought into this process cares more about the outcome than you do. And as long as you trust that, you can trust us, and we're going to get the job done. All right, last test.
All right.
Grip size, baby. You want to be Bryson DeChambeau? Well, here's your chance. We're not there yet, though. That's going to be the third test. This is a Tour Velvet Jumbo, so it's an oversized grip. We've been hitting standard size all day long. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that was very clean. Maybe a 12. You think you got a 12?
Pretty good.
I think you got a 12. D12. Oh, the dirty dozen. That was an 11. Very nice. Very nice.
Show him what he's won, Dana.
Show him what he's won. All right. Good start. Angle of attack back to 2.3 down. Martin. Ooh. Okay, I'm interested in this shot. Want to know why? I think you got 7 to 8 millimeters low and it overdrew. We haven't seen that a lot today. Let's see if I'm right. 5 millimeters low, close enough. Did he launch it lower? A little bit. Dynamic loft, 28. That's a little lower, isn't it? Okay, one of the things that we've noticed, and I might be, putting the carriage in front of the horse here, but what George has mentioned to me, and Casey Hardy and a few other really good instructors, is they say, Chad, when I take people through the grip size test, sometimes guys get the bigger grip, and in transition, they automatically start flexing their lead wrist. And if that happens, it's going to get the club coming in a little bit more shut, which will force you to lean the shaft more forward to make that ball not do what that just did. That was interesting, because that was a good strike that overdrew. We haven't seen a lot of those today. Only your chunks have done it. So this potentially could alter your decision on lie angle slightly if this consistently continues to happen, because this is the lie angle we're fitting him into. Ooh, and then if he starts it right and it draws like that, it's even better. I know that was a little right. I think I like that shot because I think it was trying to come back. Come on. Yes, sir. Okay, so you went, what do you go, 11, 5, 9 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Dude, those were really clean contact. What did that grip feel like in your hands?
It feels pretty good. Like
You can tell it's a little bit bigger than what you're used to, huh?
Yeah, I got a good amount of control.
Now, one of the things, I tell you what, and again, fitters beware. If you're working with a guy and you've got nothing to lose, well, then you got nothing to lose. You can recommend whatever grip he hits the best. But the grip is the number one thing you can go, this is different than what I normally use. All the other ones are like, I don't know what I'm testing. This one, you're like, okay, I can tell a big difference. So this is where you got to let a little bit of comfort play into it. Now, if he holds 3 in a row, I don't care how comfortable it was, I'm going to try to get you to do it. But this is something that you just got to, you got to work with the client a little bit. It's not verbatim, oh, the data said you got to do this, because, these grips get so big now, you're putting a little bit of a risk out there. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? So this is the Jumbo Max, JMX, and this is called the extra small. So we went from a Jumbo to an extra small, but the extra small dwarfs the Jumbo. So that's what we get for making standard so small in the beginning. There's nowhere else to go.
Extra small.
Extra small,
Standard. Oop.
It's okay. We've got about 7 more shots to hit, and it will be concluded. This test is a fun test. Now, I've seen guys who are chronic big overhook drawers. They'll overdraw every single one, and sometimes this grip will really straighten them out. But this is more so that people can try it and just get it off their mind. Because guys go to bed at night after a decent or bad round of golf, and they start wondering what it would be like to play Bryson's grip. And they go out and buy them, and they get them, put them on, and they're $250, and it takes 5 days, and they rip them off. That's a waste of, I mean, dude, you could have went and played where? Where could you have played for $250?
Yeah.
You know, instead of running that experiment. All right, come on, Martin, buckle down, babe. Buckle down, baby. Boy. Well, another very powerful thing about this test is when you get a decent golfer in here, someone who's played a little bit. Will they hit outlier shots? Absolutely, they're gonna hit a lot of them. But what you'll notice is not one of these variables completely derails the train. I've had guys come in here, oh, my grip size is a little too big, I can't hit it, I shank everything. Well, I've never seen that with a decent, accomplished player. It's like, not real. So it really goes to show how much clubs are influencing our ball flight, but nothing makes us swing and miss, nothing makes us top it, nothing makes us shank it over and over and over again. And I think just that is a little bit of an educational thing with people misdiagnosing where they should be. A lot of guys are trying to buy new clubs that need lessons, and there's guys who will not stop working on their swing who literally just need golf clubs, and they're gonna be the best golfer they've ever been. I need one more. Everyone's on the wrong side of the fence, dude, and they need to switch, and we might have a chance at this game. Yeah, Martin. Is it possible to even fathom playing a grip that big?
I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It didn't feel bad at all.
Okay, beautiful.
I don't think I like the...
Let's tap you out then. Let's go one more.
Yeah, let's get raw.
Oh my God, I don't know, my fingers are gonna fit around this.
So our goal at Foreward Golf is we never want to not test a wide enough spectrum. If we don't test the North and the South Pole, how are we truly ever going to find the equator? That's really kind of the idea that I've had with this. So we're testing very big, very thin, very upright, very flat, very heavy, very light, very stiff, very soft, because you can start to position it. But if you only test a small window, well, guys fall outside that window all the time and you can't keep going. So I like to go wide and then woof. That's kind of the goal. All right, 3 swings with the fatty. Nice, Martin. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to keep my eye on his launch. His launch has been around 21 to 23 degrees. I want to see if it's higher or lower or the same. 22.6, that's a good shot, 5 millimeters low, a little bit towards the heel. Now, a lot of times what I'll notice with these people is they'll add a bunch of loft to this because they never get the face shut. You have no problem getting this oversized grip to turn over.
I do feel the urge to turn my wrist a little, to be honest.
You're doing something, because if everything was equal, you would be missing the ball more to the right, for sure. 30. Oh, fuck, yeah. You got through that one really good. That's probably a 7 to a 5 would be my guess. 5. Oh, 3, yeah. It sounded like he bounced into it ever so slightly. What was the launch on that? Oop. That's fine. All right, one more shot. Atta boy, Martin. Way to be, babe. Oh, he's going to hold out the last shot.
The last one, get in. Ah.
Overdraw. Nice shot. Out of those 3, which one felt the most comfortable?
You know, it's between 1 and 3.
So you're saying that the fattest one didn't throw you off that much?
Not so much, no.
Let's look at the data. I think I'm leaning towards the first one because it's a lot bigger than what you play. I'm not throwing you to the wolves either. But let's see exactly what happened here. Oh, shit. Wow. Did we delete any on red 3?
The only one I deleted is a little
Okay. 114.4 is some of the fastest ball speed I think we've seen today. Smallest standard deviation, maybe across the entire session today. Those last 3 shots that he hit may be potentially the best performing club of the entire day. And that's the JMX Zen Light medium size, which is freaking giant. Bryson plays the XL, but it ain't much bigger than that. Can I just see the strike locations? Even though I'm scared to look. I don't know how. 4 millimeters low. See, that's why I didn't want to look. He was 9 millimeters low, 5 millimeter shield, 7 millimeter shield, 4 millimeters low. So that's my only discrepancy. So let me just, angle of attack, path is the same. His face to path relationship was better. He presented the same amount of loft, more consistent. Yes, the strike location's not there, but I think when I throw everything together with that low balance, I think we're going to get it. And because you mentioned it didn't feel that bad, I'd like to see what happens with that. Again, grips are easy to change out. So what I would do is if it's like, hey man, I want to get a set built to this prescription, we would probably build out the set. I would make you the 7-iron with that grip on there, do some testing with it. If it doesn't work out the right way, we'll just go back and probably put the jumbo on, but I'd like to see what that looks like. Maybe even take you to the course, play a few holes with just that 7-iron and have all the clubs already pre-built, so we just have to throw the grip that we determine on there. So let's go sit down and talk about what we came up with and see if we can't figure out what we would make you if we made you something.
You just want to be able to tell Lindsay, dude, that it's so fat you can't put your fucking fingers around it.
I don't need to tell her that. She knows. That thing is, I liked it, to be honest. It did give me a strange feeling, like right when I'm getting back here, like I want to cock my wrist a little bit.
Well, no, dude. I mean, I would be willing to do it. Just again, I'm more. I like to follow the data because I like to see how it plays out on the golf course, and I just want feedback, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go tee it up across the street and just watch a few shots. I mean, we could even bring this club and bring this club and literally just drop balls from 160 yards and just hit some shots to just confirm. Because one thing I've noticed is I've gone through this test many times, but I do play golf often. I try to work on my game a lot, and even though I might hit a thicker grip a little bit better in this setting, every time I'm on the golf course, when I grab the club, I just know that it's like not what I'm used to, and it's hard to commit. I don't even want that running through my head. I want to grab my club and be into the shot, not like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm playing mid-sizes now. So I've had the data suggest play a little bit bigger grip, but after going out there, I've noticed I always go back to, and maybe that's bad. Maybe that's like kind of what I fight against, but at the same time, it's there and you can't ignore it. You know, golf is this is a trippy ass game, and no one's kind of got their whole mind wrapped around it yet. All right, but I would definitely bring that one. It was the best. So they're going to send me a report. They're going to email me a report. So we're going to go over some of the stuff over there, but I'm going to go through this with a fine-tooth comb. That's what every remote fitting does. Anytime you get fit at a local fitter, they're sending us the data. We're analyzing it because our number one goal is that all doctors write the same prescription based upon the data set. So obviously we're working on an algorithm so that these can happen in automation, but right now that's our main goal because most people can go to places and get fit, and different locations give you different prescriptions. And maybe that's because you're swinging it different, but I believe that this process that's what's groundbreaking about it, is the consistency that we can do. We want to be like McDonald's, right? Every Big Mac's got 3 pickles, or whatever the hell it is. Okay. All right, guys, so we're gonna go over the prescription with Martin. We just got done in the bay. We went through our 8 variable process, 72 shots, and we came up with some pretty interesting information. But to start things off, Martin, what did you think about the process?
I thought it was amazing, to be honest. It was really, I learned a lot.
Sure.
So I did. To see the different changes, subtle changes in certain clubs and how it felt when I made contact, especially if I made good contact. But yeah, it was very, very enjoyable.
Could you tell the differences in the variables? Like when I hand you different clubs, was there subtleties that you could pick up on while swinging?
Yeah, there was some for sure, especially, the heavier club, lighter club, shorter, the grips. You could tell for sure there was, but there was some I definitely liked more than others.
Absolutely, and there's always going to be clubs that we hit better than others. Let's just talk about what options that we have for Martin. So the first thing is we did a pretty good job fitting them 4 years ago. There's not a lot of differences that we need to change. I think the loft that we chose on this club being 30 degrees is pretty close. I don't know if you need to be 30. I'm thinking 31, maybe 32, or we could stay at 30. We're going to determine that out on the golf course. But option number 1 would be the cheapest option. We always like to give people 3 options. The first option would be bend this club 2 degrees more upright and put the Jumbo Max medium Zen-like grip on there. Big old grip with a little bit more upright lie angle. That would be the cheapest thing that we can do. Option number 2, take this mid-kick shaft out, put a firmer tip in there, keep it the same weight, keep it the same flex, bend the lie angle, and put the thick grip on. That would be the next expensive option because you got to put new shafts in there. But the third option, and I think would be the best option for you, would be to build an entire new golf club. And the reason is the swing weight test proved a lot. We need to be something with a lighter weight in the head to equal somewhere around a C5, C6 swing weight. This club doesn't have the capability of doing that. And that's just because it just is what it is. We can't get it to weigh any different. We can't take enough weight out. So that would be the most expensive option, but when we saw the swing weight test, it was one of the most valid tests of the entire day. So that would be the most expensive. That would be the one that I would like to see us go to the golf course and test because that's just following the data. But obviously, for the customer, it always comes up to you guys. What is your budget? Maybe we save up and do this in the future. It doesn't matter how we do it, but what we want to do is we don't want to cut ourselves short. To follow the prescription is the only way to know how well this process really works and how good we can get with a golf club that's more matched up to us. So I know you don't play a lot, and I know you didn't get a lot of usage out of these, but kind of what do you think you would like to see us do? Do you like option 1, option 2, or option 3?
Well, I learned a lot, and I want to say, go big or go home. Option 3.
Option 3. So what we're going to do is we will build out a set of golf clubs, but what we won't do is we won't determine the grip that we're going to put on the entire set. We'll start off with the thick one. We'll take you across the street. We'll bring your gamer, and we'll bring that club, and we'll just basically have a test off. Looking at mismanagement, because ultimately, guys, that's what this fitting is. We know that good Tiger strikes go on target, but what happens when we miss a little bit? Is one missing more left? Is one missing more right? Is one just a little bit tighter? So I think that's what the next video will be, is we'll do a recap video on the golf course doing on-course testing with the set that we build out to you compared to this one and just see what happens. You like that?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Perfect. Well, guys, stay tuned because we're going to do just that. We're going to take him out there with his prescription and see if we can beat up the golf club that we fit him into 4 years ago. I think it's going to be close, but I think I'm going to give the edge to the prescription because that lighter head weight did wonders.
For sure.
Well, hey, man, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. And if you guys want to be a part of this, you got 3 options. Come out to California and hang out with the mustache guy. Order yourself a remote fitting kit or find a fitter near you. Until then, guys, we'll be on the lookout for where good golf lives. Tiger Strap.